Hello, what is up, everybody? My name is Mario Pichardo, and today we are going to be talking about an election that just happened in India. It says, I'm going to butcher this name, Narendra Modi's landslide re-election in India is another win for religious nationalism. Now, this one's a story that explains how kind of the nationalist religious right is dominating the stage, particularly in India, and it speaks a lot to not only the cares of the Indian people, but also that there is a resurgence of traditionalism happening around the world, where people are saying, no to globalism, that they want their governments to focus on their needs and to their desires. And it speaks to, hey, people are frustrated, they're tired of seeing companies and private interests, elitists and globalists, kind of uh, lead the people away from their interests and towards things like open borders, removing manufacturing abroad away from their respective nations. And so, to see this happening here, to see a resurgence in Italy, to see a resurgence in France with the Yellow Vests and so many others, particularly in Britain, where Theresa May is really seriously facing her ousting out of the political landscape, which is very real and is inevitably to come, where even people of her own party are talking about her being removed, that she's no longer seen as a leader by anyone. And so here, we kind of see that Modi was pushing for, getting more jobs for the Indians. He wants to bring more manufacturing to India. He essentially wants to look out for the Indian people. And that's not something to be surprised about. I mean, people who live in whatever country they live in want to see their fellow man do well. They want to see their nation perform well. They want to know that they have a job, that they're going to have a job, that they're going to be able to prosper, that the future looks good, that they can trust their politicians, that they know that democracy is working in their country the way that it was meant to. So there's a lot of good really happening here, and I'm very happy for the Indians to kind of see this kind of resurgence, so that they're able to. And Modi was elected before this as well, so it's not like it's his first rodeo. But to see him get reelected and in such a landslide victory really says something. I think we have to realize that, and this is great news, that India has kind of one of the party that just got elected in India is the greatest democratic kind of religious party in the world. And so for them to get elected and for them to be able to kind of bring nationalism, strength and conservatism in India is really a big deal for the world, because particularly in a world where we're kind of told that, this leftist, or we're led to believe that this leftist ideology is really, overtaking the world. Well, clearly we're starting to see that it's not, and people are really fighting back. Even in Canada, their leader there, Justin Trudeau, is not expected to really, be reelected. He's expected to be really facing some tough opposition. And so, we're kind of starting to see people look at their leaders and say, just like Theresa May, hey, this isn't working. We need to move in a new direction. And so that's very, very good to see. There is an interesting bit here that I was reading that actually led to another article that was talking about how Modi, I believe it was in 2015 or 2016, he implemented a policy in India to remove the two biggest bills out of circulation in India, which I thought was a rather strange move, particularly because you would think that you want your population to have access to real cash in some way, shape, or form, and to currency, for the express purpose that they wouldn't have to be tracked by a banking system, that they would you want to be able to rely the least amount on electronic systems and things like that, because, well, electronic systems can fail, and if they do fail, you also want it because you want a level of privacy for the individual. And so I kind of saw that as a red flag from Modi, in terms of, I don't really understand why taking taking the currency away from the Indians, the actual physical currency from Indians, is ever really a good thing, other than you want to kind of place more restrictions on them, whether that's for their own benefit in terms of keeping the money within India. And so, you're not really sending a lot of Indian wealth outside of the country. But, I still think it's rather strange. I definitely don't agree with it. I think that cash is very important, and that the freedoms of the individual should very rarely, if ever, be superseded by even any sense of uh, any nationalistic support. So I thought that was a little strange to me, but otherwise, it's great to see this in India. I think that the Indians are going to do well under Modi. I think that they're going to potentially see a lot of more conservatism, a lot more of what they're asking for, and what their kind of participation in their democratic system has brought. And so, I can only say applaud you to the Indians, and to know that, hey, this is not something that's kind of a one-off thing. We are seeing a resurgence. So if you guys like the video, be sure to smash that like button. If you loved it, destroy the subscribe button and hit the bell icon so that you're notified the next time we produce a video that goes live. Also, be sure to comment on the video. Any kind of comment that you guys make helps us rank with the YouTube algorithm. It tells YouTube, hey, this video is actually pretty cool. We should share it with more people. So with that, guys, that's all I have for today. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy. Peace.